Remind America of the fierce urgency of now.
If you're uncomfortable, like a lot of us are, it's time to talk.
It's time to talk.
It's time to talk.
It's time to talk.
Let's talk mental health, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things they don't see. Let's talk about mental health. Let's get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's time to talk.
Hi, welcome to Awareness Talks. We're your hosts, Jack and Allie McGuire, founders of Awareness Ties. Thank you so much for being here.
We're really glad that you're joining us. Awareness Talks is where we get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We do three things. We identify and demystify stigmas surrounding social causes. We get personal with stories. And we explore ways to move forward. Tonight, our subject of discussion is mental health. We start the evening with a pre-show to set the tone for our conversation ahead with music, poetry, and stories.
Now, when it comes to mental health, there are many who, like Isabella says, try to put up a good fight but struggle in the dark at night. Isabella Blake Thomas wrote the song Blinded and performs it for us now. Hear just her and her piano in this exclusive performance. Isabella.
Every single day I do my best to stay on my way, but I'm blinded blinded by the light. Oh, I'm trying to put up a good fight, but I'm struggling in the dark tonight. I try to tell you it all, but it's not easy, makes me feel small. I feel like I'm being crushed, and I don't know who I can trust. I try my best every single day. I do my best to stay on my way, but I'm blinded by the light. Oh, I'm trying to put up a good fight, but I'm struggling in the dark tonight. in the dark tonight.
Thank you, Isabella. That was beautiful. Not only is she a singer, but she is also an actress, having just released her most recent film, playing the role of Princess January in Disney's The Secret Society of Second-Born Royals. In addition, she also serves as Awareness Ties official ambassador for suicide awareness.
You know, so often, so many of us get tired. Tired of the struggles, tired of the pain, and what do? I'll tell you what Brianna Walker did. She expressed her frustrations in song. This 13-year-old from Compton wrote an original piece that she performed as an anthem of her own with a very strong call to action. Listen to this.
We must rise up. We must control this. We must end suicide and bullying. Your father seated you. Your mama tried to get rid of you. Your mama hates you. Your father disclaimed you. Your self-esteem is low, so you act so cold. Thinking it's cool to target the weak minded at your school. We must rise up. We must control this. We must end suicide and bullying. We must rise up. We must control this. We must end suicide and take a stand. Show them love, give them hugs, help understand. Bullying must come to an end. Yeah, love and unity is what we need because kids are dying behind bullying. Let's come together as one race. Take a stand for a better place. I'm a survivor. I got more life to live.
Super powerful.
Absolutely.
From Isabella on the piano to Brianni on the stage, we now shift gears and hear from Joel with a video posted to Instagram. It takes so much courage to share how you feel. It takes hope to believe that you can heal.
In Joel's words, he says, "It's a song about feeling like you're drowning, but when there's someone to hold on to, things get more manageable." With courage, he sings and shares the song, City.
There's a harvest each Saturday night where the bars fill up with perfume, hitching a ride. A place you could stand for one night and get gone. But it's clear this conversation ain't doing a thing, 'cause these boys only listen to me when I sing, and I don't feel like singing tonight all the same songs. Here in these deep city lights, girl, I could get lost tonight. And I'm finding every reason to be gone. There's nothing here to hold on to. Could I hold on to you?
Thank you so much for sharing, Joel.
So far we've heard three very different voices. Each expresses the importance of acknowledging feelings and intentions. Earlier, with one voice, it was Brianni, stating, "We must rise up." Now with many voices, we have Time to Rise. This is written and performed by Aura and Rebecca Fitch, and featuring Northbourne Park School Choir. It's produced by O.M. McGarry, and video is created by James Hastings.
Here it is now, the anthem just unveiled for the Phoenix Rising Collective.
skies, older than the sands of time. I wonder, can you hear my cry for sure? Over time, there has been a misaligned symmetry of pure design. Oh, balance. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we will rise. We will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, oh, we'll rise. Feel a change in energy as we rise from the ashes, bringing peace and compassion, waking the love inside, liberating the masses. We restore the imbalance, breaking free from the silence, waking the love inside. Our desire to see the people harmonize, 1,000-generation choir, all singing. Time to rise. Can you see the phoenix fly, transcending our divergent tides? Oh, winning. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we shine. Feel the change in energy as we rise from the ashes, bringing peace and compassion, waking the love inside, liberating the masses. We restore the imbalance, breaking free from the silence, waking the love inside, freedom, unity of people, power and femininity, strong and free. We live and breathe this love will be our beacon, no longer defeated, soaring free. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we fly. Time to rise, time to rise, time to rise, oh, we fly.
What an inspiring performance. You know, there are songs that you can actually feel, and I could feel that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
You know, each of the songs we've heard makes a statement. Statements are made in other ways as well. Poetry, for example.
So, this next piece, it's one that I wrote while being very honest with myself, about myself. Sometimes the person it's the hardest to be honest with is yourself. As hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide. As hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide. As hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide from the truth. No amount of gin and vermouth can conceal what I feel. Time to deal with what's real. Time to heal. Because as hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide. It's eating me up inside. From within I sin against me, daily. Truths denied or justified as pride maintains, despite these refrains of as hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide. Sooner or later you find the traitor you sought to find within your own mind, who knew it was you, who did you wrong all along. Truth I spied as now I confide. As hard as I've tried, I can no longer hide.
Allie, thank you so much for sharing your words.
Mm-hmm.
So, music, poetry, there are many ways yet to cope with mental health issues. Books, art, books about art.
Right. So, what we're going to share with you next is a conversation. It's a skit that leads into a book, where coloring inside and outside the lines is not an option, but a requirement.
Your Therapist is Anxious, too, is a workbook written by Dr. Jen Martin and illustrated by Kristen Martin, where you can beautifully battle anxiety with artistry. Mm-hmm. Take it away, girls.
Hi, welcome. How are you feeling?
Hi, yeah, I'm doing all right. Well, I mean, the planet is literally burning alive, and I know I'm not doing enough, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well. Like, recycling and metal straws aren't cutting it. The rainforest is literally being destroyed, and I've only managed to plant 2,787 trees. I'm taking 30-second showers, but I know I should get it down to 15. I went vegan, and I love cheese. I ride my bike 67 miles to and from work every day. Okay, well, last week I did drive in once, and I haven't slept since. I'm the president of the neighborhood park cleanup committee. I chained my naked body to the front of a nuclear power plant. It's not enough. Renewable energy. Carbon emissions.
Well,
Greenhouse gas.
oh, okay. Let's just take a deep breath.
Okay. Oh, sweet oxygen, I don't deserve you.
Okay, I think I might have something that could help here.
Hi everyone, I am Kristen Martin.
And hi, I'm Jenny Martin, and we are sisters, and we are creators of the book, Your Therapist is Anxious Too.
There are so many things that trigger anxiety, and what you just saw was just an example of one. Never feeling like we're doing enough, never feeling like we are enough.
That's right, and I see it all the time now. Being a psychologist, especially in today's world, so many of us suffer from the same things, but we feel so alone. And I think we become more siloed into our phones, and we are so competitive and so comparative that it's really hard to remember that these things are very natural human concerns. So we want to bring light to that.
So about a year ago, I was suffering from my own anxiety, and I printed out a picture of my face, and I started literally painting my brain and what I was feeling in my mind, because it was just feeling like absolute chaos, like I couldn't get it under control. And after doing that, I actually felt better. I had released a lot of the tension that I was feeling inside. I didn't share this with anyone, but I did show it to my sister because she's a psychologist, and I was like, oh boy, am I okay? She actually thought it was a really cool exercise that we should try and use, which leads us to the book.
So that's right, this book was totally inspired by that one piece, Kristen's drawing of the brain. I saw that and I thought, oh my gosh, so many people would resonate with that. Talk therapy is one way to get to our struggles and to our worries and concerns, but there are so many other creative mediums that help us understand what we're going through. And I think one of the main parts of anxiety that can be so difficult for us to manage is the sense of being so overwhelmed that we don't know where to start. It becomes so snowballed into something that's bigger than ourselves that breaking it down becomes almost impossible. So I saw this piece of art and I thought, why don't we create something that gives some structure and allows people to engage with their anxiety in a fun, creative way, but also helps provide education about managing it better in the future.
So this isn't just for artists, this isn't just for anxious types, this is for anyone who wants to push themselves outside of their comfort zone. You will need markers, colored pencils, crayons, paints, whatever to do some of the projects.
Sometimes art unlocks things within us that maybe we're not conscious of. And we think that the combination between the education and the visual artistic pull offers a really unique way to engage with your own experiences. And every chapter comes with its own particular art. So if there's a piece that really speaks to you or symbolizes the mission that you're working on personally, those are available for purchase too.
In creating this book, something that was really important to my sister and I was to donate some of the proceeds towards suicide awareness.
Suicide awareness is something that we are both very passionate about, and it's touched me on a very personal level, which is part of why I wrote this book in the first place. On the professional side of things, we are seeing an incredible rise in both attempts and completed suicide rates. This is something that is a major problem, and often it's addressed far too late. So in creating this project, we want to bring awareness to the steps that can be taken before it ever gets to that point, and managing anxiety and mental wellness is essential to that. We hope that the proceeds that we can donate will be part of the fight for overall health and wellness.
Also, if you purchase one of our books, inside the book we have a discount code for the artwork that you can purchase on our website, www.youranxioustherapist.com.
It was very important for us to preserve the integrity of this project, down to the paper, down to the size, everything. We wanted to really keep the integrity whole. So we rely almost entirely on word of mouth. If you believe in this project, if you loved it, if you support it, please, the best thing you can do is tell people, share, tag us on Instagram, just spread the word. And you can follow us on Instagram at Your Therapist is Anxious Too.
Yeah. And thank you so much to everyone who have already been supporting us. It means the world to us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, Jenny and Kristen. That skit was seriously hilarious. And the book, both brilliant and beautiful.
You know what else is beautiful?
What?
People sharing personal stories and making statements.
Yes.
Inviting others to have the courage to do the same.
Absolutely. And here are a few examples that we'd like to share.
It is important that we are kind and we listen to people we come in contact with, because we truly don't know what they're going through, mentally, emotionally, or physically. I have lost people to suicide. I love you, Hunter. And me and my friends struggle daily with stress and anxiety. It's time to talk.
We are in a time in our society where mental health is one of the most pressing issues ever, and suicide rates are on the rise. We must talk about suicide, acknowledge it, know the risks, the factors, and engage with one another, but we must be creative in the ways that we do that. In 2020, we have written a narrative of drastic change that has affected all of us. And this sudden change needs to be talked about and how we feel and all those factors that entail. People are struggling and it's time that we talk about it. It's time to talk.
This pandemic has affected our lives in unprecedented ways. For way too many people, it's been burying their loved ones. For others, it's been fighting in intensive care units for themselves. Others still adjusting to how they can work, whether they still have a job, whether their kids are sent to school or attempting to homeschool, whether they choose a grocery store that they feel safe in or order home delivery, whether they travel, whether it's safe to see family members. All of these things have led to increased isolation, increased stress, anxiety, depression. For many, it's caused mistrust and has led to increased anger and frustration, unclear views about what to do with the information they get, whether it's from the media, pharma, or even their doctor. For people in the medical fields and people on the front lines, there's been moral injury from dealing with the consequences of being on both sides of the pandemic. The one good thing has been that there's been a shift in how we talk about mental health, lowering the stigma, recognizing that it's just as important as our physical health, and we need to talk about it. So, let's talk.
No one has to live in silence because of bullying. No one has to hurt or be alone, and certainly no one has to die. Bullying isolates, it degrades, weakens, and silences us. It erodes at our confidence and self-worth. It deprives us of the basic need of belonging to a community and to a tribe. I know, I was bullied as a youth. Although it wasn't physical, the emotional impact left a scar and changed me forever. Growing up, I always felt like an imposter, like I couldn't be who I was. And during high school, the pressures of fitting in were powerfully crippling. I never quite felt like I was enough for anyone. I simply didn't belong. You see, there was a group of popular boys, the in crowd, who made me the target of their malice and scorn for no apparent reason other than that I got along really well with the girls. That's why they teased me and called me Lance Romance. They made me feel like I wasn't good enough for them, like I wasn't enough of anything. I wasn't masculine enough. I wasn't like them enough. I wasn't rich enough. And I never truly felt like I was enough for anyone. Certainly, I wasn't happy enough either. It hurt so much that I felt worthless, that life was worthless and wasn't worth living. And when I couldn't take it anymore, I tried to take my life away. But I was lucky. I'm still here. But even to this very day, I still feel a sense of shame and guilt speaking about suicide. Shame because we are made to feel helpless and weak. We're judged for trying to hurt ourselves, but really it's the bullies who try to hurt us. and guilty because the bullies will never know what they did or how they changed my life forever. Since then, I got on pretty well with my life and I did okay. I'm married, I have children, and I'm a very resilient person. But I was lucky. You see, I finally have the courage to remove my masks, to speak up, because bullying robs us of our courage to rise. It prevents us from taking flight and discovering the freedom to evolve into the best version of ourselves, to truly be ourselves. Removing the mask is empowering, and it comes with responsibility to speak up for others, to break the stigma, and to encourage victims of bullying to reclaim their courage and to remove their masks, because no one has to live in fear, no one has to live alone in pain, and certainly no one has to die because they are the victim of bullying. That is why I share my story, so that others can have the courage to speak up, to remove their masks, and to become better and stronger, and to feel like they belong. Let's raise our collective awareness so that together we can make the difference. We can save lives. We can create safe spaces where everyone can thrive and belong. No one has to die in order to belong.
Thank you so much for sharing your words. And thank you everyone for tuning in to the pre-show. You know, words, poem, music, these are all ways to show and share support for mental health.
Absolutely. And another way is with a symbol. So the screen awareness tie you see here, it is a symbol of support for mental health awareness. It's available on our website. It's a way to raise awareness and to start needed conversations.
If you or anyone you know is dealing with a mental health crisis, there is help. Please see the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline number below.
Before our conversation with our panelists begins, we would like to introduce you to Ned. We recently met Ned Stranger, a musician, a writer, and now a columnist for Aware Now magazine with his monthly feature, Music with Meaning. Exclusively for Awareness Ties, Ned recorded a special performance of his original song, Vancouver Waves.
Enjoy. It's absolutely beautiful.
Hello everybody, my name is Ned Stranger and this is Simon, who I'm looking after at the moment. So the song I want to play for you tonight is a song I wrote a few years ago called Vancouver Waves, and it's basically about the need to kind of run away from the world for a little bit when something really tragic happens, and kind of reassuring yourself that when you come back the world's still going to be there. Sort of about escapism and that need to sort of like, you know, look after yourself for a bit when something awful happens. I don't know why the idea of Vancouver sort of crept into my mind, but it was sort of thinking about somewhere right at the edge of the world, and I don't know, like the imagery of the waves and being on an island cut off from everything sort of fitted in beautifully with Vancouver being on the edge of the maps that I look at anyway. So that's where the name of the song comes from and what it's about. I'm going to play a little bit of it for you now. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Cool. You are the calmest wave that I've ever known. You are the calmest wave. When you stop coming into shore, nobody knows, but I'll be on my way. My mood moves like the tide, a storm that builds inside of me. And if you ever vanish off the map, nobody knows, but I'll be on my way. Hibernate till I'm on form again. The world
can wait another year. Hibernate till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. So I came here to the island. I braved the stormy seas. The air is clean and it's silent, far from such tragedies. The sun sets better than a painting. It calms my eyes with ease. And it's the saddest sky that I've ever seen. Oh, hibernate till I'm on form again. The world can wait another year. Hibernate till I'm okay again. The tidal waves can't follow me here. You are the calmest wave that I've ever known. You are the calmest wave. And when you vanished off the map, nobody knows, but I was on my way. Thank you so much for listening. Now it's time to talk.
To remind America of the fierce urgency of now.
If you're uncomfortable, like a lot of us are, it's time to talk.
To take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism.
It's time to talk.
It's time to talk.
It's time to talk.